There we are with that new LJ's Card Lounge introduction. Special guest today, Mr. K Dub. I'm Chris. That
I'm
was
Josh.
Josh. Kyle, how we doing tonight, guys?
All
Doing
good,
good, man.
Awesome. Hopefully staying warm out there. A couple days till Christmas. I know, Kyle, you just said it's like -8 where you're at. It's going to be -28 wind chill. Like when we wake up tomorrow, office is already closed. Like just don't go outside if you don't have to. Be safe. Don't be dumb, you know?
Leave a drip in your faucets. That's all I
Right.
got to say, man.
And you know what's awesome is my dad literally text messaged me like 4 minutes ago. I was like, hey, make sure you disconnect your hose outside. Your pipes are going to burst. I'm like, I hope I text my son that when I'm 70 something and remind him when he's 40. Like that's just awesome.
No doubt.
So anyways, most of you, if you're watching this, you got to know who K-Dub is. Because if you know our inner circle, you know Kyle. But for those of you who, like at least Chris with the gold line circle, maybe you're in the LJ circle, you don't know Kyle. You don't know Mr. K-Dub. Kyle, you introduce yourself real quick. Tell us who you are, why you're here. And before we get started with the show, please.
Yeah, my name is Kyle, but most people on Twitter know me as K-Dub, at Mr. K-Dub. I'm a card collector. I'm a father. I'm a teacher. I'm a coach. I wear as many hats as possible in the community that I am a part of. But yeah, I'm as you can see, I got my Vikings wear on here. I'm a big Vikings fan, so big time Vikings card collector. And I really enjoy the sports card community, not so much the buying for my collection, but the interactions and the relationships that I get to have with people who buy for their collections. So yeah, that's what I'm all about.
Yeah. I'm just tweeting out our link right here as we're chit-chatting, and it's huge about the community. I know I was telling Josh when we were talking about you today, like you were the first person when I got onto Twitter to make like a deal with. I was trying to sell you like a $3 card for $20. Like, hey, this isn't how this works. Like, I don't know. I'm new. Help me.
Always start high. Always start high.
He was trying to work me over, Josh. For it was a Trey Waynes Prism rookie. And I think he asked for $300. So
you can always come down, but you can't always go back up. So start high, and then you can always come down.
No, man, it was a great interaction, very fun interaction, and Chris, you took it with a grain of salt and accepted the advice, and I always appreciate that you didn't look at it like an opportunity that I was trying to handle you. It was like I was trying to help you understand the community and understand cards. And so it was a beautiful thing, man. And now we send Christmas cards to each other. So it's fantastic.
It's awesome. The friendships are incredible. You meet here. Because I was telling Josh, like the two people I want to meet that I haven't yet were you and Eloy. Because I already met my buddy Nick. Yeah. It's like of all of the people in the cards community, it's those two. And Eloy and I just couldn't cross paths at the National. Kept saying, hey, meet over here. There's no cell service in this building. And there's 15,000 tables and 100,000 people. Just couldn't make it happen. But, right around the time I started LJ's, you're like, hey, I got this show, Mr. K-Dub's High Fives. Like, I've been on it before. You wanted to get Leo on it. You tell us about what the High Fives is, how it started, why you do it, and, just give us a little breakdown of that.
Yeah, so K-Dub's High Five is just a little YouTube, I don't know, show or podcast, whatever you want to call it. Dizzy Dub One on YouTube if you guys want to check it out. But it started as a conversation with my friend Tyler Murphy at Hey It's T Murph on Twitter. And I just said, hey, I would love to just connect with all these people that I've met on Twitter and have some sort of interaction with them. And this was in the midst of the pandemic when Zoom was everything. And I realized, hey, I can record these Zooms. I can have these chats. And it just started as me wanting to meet these people that I interact with every single day on the regular on Twitter. And it's 5 questions about their collecting. And the premise behind it is always, I want people to get to know the person just like I wanted to get to know the person. So they're all personal questions. I've had dudes from Panini on there. I've had other card shop owners. Leo's been on there. I've had other kind of bigger names in the Twitter community, if you will. And it's never about the hobby nonsense drama, whatever you want to call it. It's always about them because, everyone that has a handle is a person. And so the goal is to get to know that person on a real level, who they are as a person and who they are as a collector. And the goal is always 8 to 10 minutes. I never hit that 8 to 10 minutes. I think maybe my first one was within the 8 to 10 minute mark, because I want people to be able to watch them on their lunch break. That's always my goal. I want people able to sit down on their lunch break, watch it, get to know somebody that they interact with on Twitter on a little bit deeper level. And that's K-Dub's High Five. So hoping to start it. I just talked to my guy, Packers Card 87, Barbell Breaks on Twitter, but Packers Card 87 on YouTube. And he's going to be the first guest of season 3, starting in 2023. So pretty excited.
Nice. Love it. I know I had a great time on it. Leo, like we had to go to Cincinnati like that morning.
Yeah.
I was like, oh no, I can't do this. What's going on? He's like, dude, I got it. Just relax. And I know he had a great time doing it.
Here's a funny story though. When Leo was on the High Five, when the Zoom link opened, it must have been his assistant sitting there, who's a female. And dude, I was so thrown for a loop. I had no clue what was going on. I thought I had this image in my brain of Leo, and then it's like, no, wait, okay. So it was super funny.
Yeah, Becca was probably setting it up for him. Huh?
Yep.
She's like the nicest human being in the entire world too. So she's great.
She was great.
All right, so I see you got the Vikings on, man. I know they had the wild comeback. Are they contenders or pretenders this year? Which one do you think they got it going on? Because our boss Leo, he's a Vikings guy too. Same with Stefan.
He's a smart boss. So I want to hear from Josh. What do you think first, Josh? This is our first interaction. What do you think? Are the Vikings the real deal this year?
I'm going to say, I don't want to say maybe, because you never know, because Kirk Cousins is so unpredictable. However, the receiver that they have is from a whole nother planet. So, but you could probably go with a blindfold on and catch it. So I'm going to say they are contenders this year because the defense is going to step up. And I don't know if they'll go all the way, but I think they have just as good a shot as anybody. The Eagles, I think, are just a little bit overrated. Just a little bit overrated. Go Vikings, man. I don't have any connection to any of these teams. So I'm going to go with you this year, and I'm going to root for the Vikings and go Vikings because who doesn't love a good Kirk Cousins meme? I do.
You like that?
Yeah, I do. I love it.
I got to be honest. I always root with my heart. So, yes, I think the Vikings are contenders this year. I think they have the offense to do it. The defense is my biggest concern. And if you had asked me this 3 weeks ago, I would have been like, they are Super Bowl ready. But the defense has kind of the last 2 weeks been rough. Now, in the second half against the Colts, that was a different defense than played against Dallas, played against the first half against the Colts, even played against the Lions the week before. So I don't know. Maybe they figured something out. But I'm hopeful if they can snag that number 2, getting that home field in the first and second round.
It's important.
I think that would be a big deal because, man, playing at the Viking Stadium is tough. I mean, that is a great environment for the home team. So, yeah, Justin Jefferson, you said it. He's next level. I think Dalvin Cook is what makes that offense go. And if you can get him going, it's going to be tough for teams to be able to stop him.
I agree. You can't guard everybody. And let's not forget about Adam Thielen.
Yeah. He's my favorite Viking.
Yes. Phenomenal.
TJ Hawkinson.
Yeah. Yeah, and Hawkinson and KJ Osborne. I mean, their offense is loaded.
Yes.
And this would be the year to do it if they're going to do it. I think San Francisco is scary
defense
with that defense.
My goodness.
Regardless of who's throwing the ball for them, their defense is going to make it easy for them. They got a good run game. And then Dallas, I mean, who knows? Who knows who shows up when it comes to Dallas? But the shocking thing to me is Dak. I think Dak is so he's down this year. I've got him on my fantasy team. He's led me to the championship, but as far as the quarterback goes, he's been pretty rough. So
yes. No, I agree. They kind of live and die by him.
Yeah.
And You know, he's always good for a couple blunders in the playoffs, it seems, and everybody's always in on the Cowboys until they get to the championship game or the week before, and then all of a sudden it's, you know, what happened.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I love the playoffs. The playoffs are great, right? So we're talking about Justin Jefferson, and let's not forget about the guy. I don't know, was it 2 decades before? Maybe I'm kind of off a little bit, but let's go Randy Moss here.
Yes, sir.
Let's, you know, now I know that Jefferson's only been in the league a couple of years. Randy Moss is exactly who Randy Moss is, but who do you take? You know,
I'm taking Moss.
Absolutely,
all day,
absolutely.
Every day. I mean, I don't think there is. I mean, Jerry Rice, I think, is the greatest wide receiver of all time. Just total package wide receiver. Calvin Johnson, I think, is the most athletic, physical specimen wide receiver, and I think Randy Moss is the perfect blend of those two. And I think you got to go Moss. That guy was unbelievable. And actually, I don't know if you've like listened to any of this stuff afterwards. Man, he was so football smart. I mean, him and Belichick were like next level together. Yeah. Where Randy Moss came in and he was telling Belichick like how to do the receiver thing, which is crazy because Belichick's one of the greatest football minds ever. And so, yeah, I'm going Moss. Yes. I just
nobody can stretch the field like Randy could.
Yeah. I mean, the thing I loved watching him is when that hand went up, it was like get him the ball, man. And they did, like Brady, Culpepper, Randall Cunningham, like those guys just chucked it down and he made plays. So yeah, I'm going Moss. But I love JJ. I love him. But the 7th and 8th grade eighth grade me, Randy Moss that's when he came into the league and took it by storm. And so
So I wrote this down, and Jefferson only needs 133 yards to break Randy Moss's single season record. Was it 03 with the Vikings? It was, I don't know. It was like 1,632 yards. He's got, what was there, 3 games left, 2 games left, 3 games left? And I'm pretty sure he's probably going to be able to do that. So, and it wouldn't be an LJ show without showing some kind of card here. So there he is.
I tell Kyle every time I get on and we have a sweet Vikings card, I gotta tag him in it. So like I had some sweet Justin Jeffersons. We sold that flawless 101 for $15,000, man. We got this Moss rookie refractor, $1,847. Sold a Justin Jefferson flawless 101, $15,000. It shows the difference in price. Obviously, this isn't a Nike patch flawless 101. You know, we don't have that, but still Randy Moss rookie. Right now, it's crazy. Like Drew Lock cards were way outselling John Elway rookies. And there's 10 times more Drew Lock cards than there is John Elway cards, but everyone wants the fast, shiny new now. You know, Randy Moss, he got traded for like a 6th round pick to New England and went out and broke all the records until Peyton Manning came along. And then I still remember Minnesota versus Denver. He catches the ball and then laterals it to like Chris Carter or something, running down the sideline. I'm sitting there like, is this real life? I just got Moss and I was sitting on my couch. Like, he has the ability to Moss me while I'm on my couch. Like Justin Jefferson to me is the best in the league right now. But when Moss was there, like it was just, hey, it's Randy Moss and there's everybody else. Now you got Jefferson, Hopkins, Devontae Adams. There's like Tyreek Hill. There's a question who could be the best. With Moss, there was no question. I mean, I'm going Randy Moss too, but I like watching Justin Jefferson. I'm still like, man, Denver. I was like, dude, pick Justin Jefferson, pick Jefferson, pick Jefferson. They go with Jerry Jeudy. I mean, that's my guy. I got autographs all over, but like, dude, what are we missing out on? I mean,
maybe it's the quarterback. I didn't mean it. We've talked
about one. Come on, man. I remember having the same conversation in my head when it was Dez Bryant or Demaryius Thomas. Dez or Demaryius. Like, I wanted Dez. They went Demaryius 2 weeks into the season. I'm like, okay, I like Demaryius. He's my guy. And I still love him. You know, I got a autographed mini helmet on my wall over there. Right over there. And, you know, happy to have Demaryius, but I'd rather have Justin Jefferson, Jerry Jeudy, but I'm not gonna be mad about Jeudy either, you know.
I use Demaryius Thomas as an example a lot when I'm talking to people about, because I coach, you know, sports, coach middle school sports. When I'm talking to parents about, you know, the professional level, Demaryius Thomas didn't start playing football till he was like 10th or 11th grade. Did you know that?
I didn't.
Yeah, the high school coach saw him, and they're like, "Oh yeah, you got some potential. You should come out and try to play." And he comes out and obviously stars. And so, I try to tell parents like, look, there's only so much you can do, when they're young. Athletic genes play a role into whether a kid is going to go to the next level or not. And Demaryius Thomas was fun, man. He was fun to watch. He was good.
I'll never forget the Tebow to Demaryius in overtime. Yeah. I have a picture of my dad and I in my apartment at the time, like Tebowing on the ground after that play. It's like, we talk about our families all the time. I'm not going to, get into personal stuff on here, but you and I have that conversation with your kids and my kids. It's like, I did that with my dad. It was awesome.
Yeah.
I can't wait to have that with my son now too. So.
Yeah. Except my son throws nothing but shade on the Vikings now. So I don't know what I'm going to do. I might be selling a kid for a Randy Moss auto or something. I don't know.
Well, I know where you can find one, so we got you there. All right, man. Hey, let's get into your K-Dub Twitter threads. Oh, I'm sorry, you have more to talk about?
No, yeah. I just, when you talked about like a $15,000 Justin Jefferson versus a $1,500 Randy Moss card, I saw something on. I was listening to some YouTube show earlier. And it said, and a Babe Ruth 101 got pulled from Topps the other day by Backyard Breaks. Not shouting out Backyard Breaks, but they pulled it. And they said, yeah, that's about a $10,000 card. And I'm like, a Babe Ruth 101 is a $10,000 card. When I see Justin Herberts and Mahomes, and those guys selling for hundreds of thousands of dollars. And I'm like, Babe Ruth 101 for $10,000. Anyways, that shocked me. I was shocked at the value assessed on that. So
it's like people that never saw Jordan play, and then they really can't compare anything to that now. It's like, I got to watch Jordan play, so I could compare that. I didn't get to see Babe play, but it's kind of the analogy I'm going here is you assess the talent that and not what you've seen from in the past. So I agree. As far as it's Babe freaking Ruth.
Yeah,
the card should be way up here. It's the generation gap.
Yeah, you're right.
Is it too? It's a what is it? 2022 Babe Ruth product because Babe Ruth hasn't played in.
Yeah, it's whatever
a generation compared to when he's actually playing and game used Justin Jefferson stuff or like, hey, we've got the Mahomes Shield, game used patch auto. There's, I'm sure we've got some Babe Ruth game used bat or something in the office, but I've never seen like a game used, Nike patch or a Yankees patch of Babe Ruth. To me, that's like $50 million right there. You have a 1-of-1 game used Babe Ruth pinstripe. It's over. Shut the door. Good night, Marianne. Like it's over. That's the card of all cards.
That's history. That's the thing to me is like, that's history. That's a piece of history that you're, in today's market, it's very much, oversaturated with relics and all that stuff. But you can get something like that. That's not just something a guy's worn. That is a piece of baseball history, and
special.
Yeah. So Josh and I went over to our LCS after work today. I got Notre Dame Cole Kmet game worn patch auto for $15. I'm like, hey, it's an Irish game worn patch auto by an NFL player. Like, how could I pass that up?
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, you're talking grails over there, right, with this Babe Ruth stuff?
Yeah,
perfect segue into the whole threads thing, right? So,
yeah, for sure.
Went to journalism school over here, so know a little about that. But you post these threads on Twitter, and I've been part of a lot of them. Like, hey, what's your grail card? What's one thing you would have with, if you could buy one product? I think that's what you asked Leo, was if you had one product, money is not an option, what would it be and why? Or if you have a grail card, and I had to dig through like 16 minutes worth of finding pictures to find that National Treasures Elway Manning. But where do you come up with the ideas with for your different threads that you have? So I know, and you're big on posting it and then tagging people under it. That way you don't tag someone in your post and then I'm going to have 1,500 notifications today and I'm muting you and be like, oh, what are you doing? So then you tag people underneath and do it the right way. Where's your inspiration come from, and why do you do these things? I know your answer, but let's hear it.
Yeah, I just think giving people a place to share is a big deal to me, because everyone has a card that they want in their life at some point. But not everybody wants to just share that out on their Twitter feed. But if you give people a platform to do that, people jump on that. And you'll notice I rarely share like my card on there, because for me, it's more about people having an opportunity to share theirs. And so to come up with them, I just think about questions that I have for myself. What's something that would be interesting to me in the hobby? What's a card that I've always wanted, or what's a cool patch auto that I have, or what's a fun low numbered card that I have, or a color match card that I have. So some of it is digging through my collection, seeing what I have, and wondering what other people have. But some of it is just, I'm just honestly curious what people can come up with. And the cards that people put on that, I mean, I don't even know exist. It's incredible, the cards that
That's
people
what I like going through.
have in their minds. And I'm like, I never even knew that card was a possibility or out there. So it's fun. And then the difference, you get hockey cards that I've never seen before, because I don't collect hockey at all, or baseball or basketball or football. So the variety that you get, and then you get, there's a dude that always posts historical cards. So those are always fun to see. So I don't know. I just like giving people a space to share. And it's the same thing I do in my classroom. I want to give kids an opportunity to share their thoughts and share their thinking. And I kind of run my Twitter the same way. Like, how can I give people space to share their thoughts and their thinking, whether that be a card or my favorite posts or my favorite threads are the couples only threads. I don't know if you've been a part of those, but Josh, I do couples only, where share a picture of you and your spouse or significant other. And it's so fun for people to because a lot of times people don't like to put that stuff out there, but if there's a thread, they'll jump in and share a picture of them and their spouse or significant other. So super fun.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, we got one comment over here saying, what are your thoughts on Pro Bowl snubs? I mean, I got to say, Russell Wilson got absolutely hosed.
I agree.
He thieved my joy. Kyle, I don't know if you ever watch our show, but I talk about how he is a thief of joy, and he steals my joy every Sunday.
Chris hasn't been happy for about 3 months.
We're way past that point of life where I let it ruin my day anymore.
You were the first person I text when the Broncos got him, though. You and Hackler. I text you both.
That's how I found out. I was literally a lot of people called me, so I can't tell you for sure. But I was in our shipping room talking to Stefan, and my phone is just ringing, blowing up. And I'm like brand new there. I've been there for like half a ham sandwich. So I'm talking to my boss. I'm not going to check my phone and be rude. So like 3 or 5 minutes later, like my phone has like 57 notifications, all these missed calls. I'm like, what just happened? Like, we going to World War III, or like what is happening? It's like, because I thought we were getting Aaron Rodgers, like Rodgers going to give up draft picks and all this stuff. Rodgers is coming to Denver, had the whole draft day hype of Rodgers coming. And it's Russell Wilson, like, didn't see it coming. And I was like so excited to give up the number 2 pick to Seattle. Like, come on, man.
Hey, I went hard on the Broncos in fantasy this year too.
Yeah.
I had Wilson, Judy, Javonte Williams. I drafted all those guys, and fortunately, I've had to since let them go. So,
yeah, but in all reality, I think the snub for me is CMC. I don't know if you guys even know who's in the Pro Bowl or what's going on, but like, how do you not pick?
Do you think that people just get tired of seeing the same people every year, though? Do you think it's kind of cool to get some new blood in there to kind of change up the game? Because the Pro Bowl is not what the Pro Bowl used to be. It's pretty much a flag football game now with some skills challenges. So,
yeah. No, I agree, Josh. I think to me, the Pro Bowl, the designation. I know I've seen some things on Twitter where guys get told and they're emotional and they're excited, but to me, it's nothing that I get excited about. If the Vikings guys that got on the Pro Bowl, to me, is like, well, it's just kind of a check on the back of a sports card. It's not really a big deal anymore.
And then you kind of hope that they don't play because they're in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, really.
And that's the thing. If your favorite player is in the Pro Bowl, you didn't make you maybe made the playoffs, but you didn't go to the Super Bowl, and that's kind of the ultimate goal because that's what people care about. So,
yeah, exactly. And I mean, half the time, guys are. I mean, in the last couple of years, it's been like the 5th and 6th and 7th quarterbacks on the list anyway, because guys opt out and don't want to play. And I don't know. I mean, what do you do? I mean, you feel like you got to have it, but how can you I don't know. How could you make it a little bit more exciting? I think that's what they're trying to figure out.
I think so.
Absolutely. Well, we kind of got away from the question a little bit with your threads and your grails.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people post stuff under there. It's $5. I posted something that was $1,700. But Kyle, I know your answer is going to be you're going to buy something for somebody else to this. But if you had to buy something for yourself, and I wrote you a $500 check, what kind would you buy? A box? Would you buy a card? Would you buy 50 cards? What item would you buy? Because I already know Josh's answer, so I need to hear Kyle's. Because Josh spent his $500 this afternoon.
Oh, what did he get?
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Man, $500 on myself. I would have to go with a card, just because I would want the thing. A box would be fun, but in all actuality, there's no guarantee that you're going to get the thing you want. So I'd have to go with a card. Man, that would be a tough one. I saw at one point, an Adrian Peterson, Randy Moss dual auto. I think it was impeccable or immaculate. I can't remember. That would be, I think, the card that I would love to have in my collection. Randy Moss, one of my favorite Vikings of all time. But then Josh, my son Camden, is a big Adrian Peterson collector. So I think it'd be super fun to have a card of both of our PCs on one there. I think that would be super fun.
For sure.
Yeah. So I think that would be it. I don't know. I don't know if you saw the other day when I posted that booklet of the Niners. Did I tag you in that? Yeah, there was
I don't know if you did or not, but I saw it. So
there was an 8 auto Niners booklet of just all the great Niners, but that's the only one out there. I haven't seen any other teams yet, so I would love to see what they came up with at the Vikings. But I think an AP Randy Moss dual auto would be the cat's pajamas for me, man. I'd take that
for sure.
Yeah, that's cool. You mentioned that about the Niners because I know we had a National Treasures booklet with 12 autographs on it, but wasn't all one team.
Yeah, I never.
It was
seen
like Elway, Brady, Mahomes, I think Aikman, Emmitt Smith, and then Buck City Breaks. Chris tweeted out like, "Hey, if you had 12 people on a card like this, who would you want? Who would you put in? Who would you put out?" But it's thinking like if I had an Elway, Manning, Terrell Davis, Shannon Sharp, like Rod Smith, Steve Atwater, Dennis Smith, Nielsen, Romanowski, like.
Yeah,
blows my mind, that kind of stuff. That's just awesome, man.
I had never seen that before either, where it was one card with all the same teams. And so I don't know. I wonder if there's more. I think it was in National Treasures. They were all sticker autos. But I wonder if there's more teams in the set. I haven't looked. I guess I should look at the layout of the product, but it would be cool if they did one for every team.
Yeah, Josh, what would you be your cat's pajamas?
Cat's pajamas, baby.
I'm gonna probably need more than $500, but let's just hypothetically say that what I found is $500. It's I don't, Kyle. I'm a huge Cubs fan. I don't know if you can see that from the back.
But, I caught it. Ryan Sandberg,
my whole life.
Spokane.
That guy right there, Hall of Fame 05.
Yeah.
Back to the card thing. Like I've got his rookie cards from 83, but the cards in 83 aren't like cards are now. So having that option for that, which is good, they still put him in there because like in some of these newer products, because you have an opportunity to still get an autograph or a piece of his jersey, or I think Triple Threads this year has a bat knob, which I would love to see.
Yeah.
Something like that. I agree. Having something that nobody else has is very cool. And if I could have something like that from the guy on my wall back here, it would be the cat's pajamas in my book.
I
don't really have something specific, but just something cool, something that a piece of a jersey or one of 3, something like that. I don't care, but something that nobody else has that I can say I have, and maybe it puts me just a little bit higher on the all-time Ryan Sandberg fan list. I'll take it.
It's pretty special when you can say I have the like a 101. I have the only one, and that's my son. That's what kind of puts it. Now he doesn't have a ton of 101s. He has a few that people have kindly gifted him. I have not been able to gift him any, but it's pretty cool when he can say there's only one of these made. This is it, and I have it. And it's pretty special when you can hold that in your collection. Is I'm the only one who has this. So
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Wes asked the question is, what do we think about the booklets? They've got like 50 autos. And I, for one, like them because I think you can get them cheaper than you think they're going to be. Like the National Treasures card we had with 12 autographs, we sold it for $10,000.
Yeah.
And that's a one of one. But if you've got, I've got a Super Bowl 50 poster over there that I got from our local card shop for $500, and it's got 11 autographs on it. I could probably get Peyton Manning alone for $500. But then I've also got Von Miller, DeMarcus Ware, Aqib Talib, TJ Ward, Brandon McManus, and others. So I think it takes the value down. But as a collector, I absolutely love that. Give me an Elway Marino, Jim Kelly, Bernie Kosar, Boomer Esiason, Troy Aikman, Emmitt Smith, Terrell Davis, Barry Sanders auto for the price of, a single Tom Brady. I'd rather have all of them as a collector, but not like if I'm buying to sell in 3 months. I'd rather have just the Tom Brady and he goes to the Hall of Fame. I sell it. I go buy a Lamborghini. But as a collector, I want to put that, on my wall right next to Cortland Sutton here. So,
yeah, I think the challenge would be how do you display something like that? That's always my, issue of space. That's a lot of autos on one card, and you got to find the right case or the right frame or so I don't know. I'm not a super like pro lots of autos on cards, but I think they're fun. I think they're cool, but I don't know if it would be for me or not.
Yeah, I'm not into the whole massive booklet unless like you said, it was all one team. Then it would be different. But again, cool. I agree with you. Very cool, but not for me. Not for me.
Because the majority of the time, you're not PCing or collecting all the guys' autos. Yes. You're probably after one or two of those guys, and then the rest of them, well, if I could, have a card of that guy, then I could get rid of it. But I don't know.
Well, we've been talking a lot about being a collector. And obviously, Josh and I work for a card shop, so we're buying, selling, making money, but we're putting the money right back into the hobby. You see so many debates people say the hobby isn't a business. Stop treating it like one. Like it absolutely is. Mm-hmm. But it's also absolutely for collectors. Like we were talking all the time. As a collector, I'd much rather have a memorabilia piece like an autographed helmet than an autographed card. As an investor, I'd rather buy an autographed Tom Brady card and sell that, after he wins the Super Bowl than a helmet. But I'd rather put a helmet on my wall over there than have the card. So the collector in me would like to have one thing. The moneymaker in me would like to have another. And, obviously we do this for a living. It's our job as well. But at the heart of it, I have a whole bunch of Cody Bellinger cards that aren't worth a whole lot because I really like Cody Bellinger. And that's what I like. I know your kid likes Adrian Peterson. My kid likes Jesse Winker. She has the world's largest Jesse Winker collection, and that's the best because she loves it.
But I'm going to say real quick, I think hold on to those Cody Bellinger cards because he's going to be hitting belly bombs at Wrigley this year. They're going up. They're going up.
So, Josh, as an employee at the card shop, how do collectors and investors coexist? And then we'll get Kyle's thoughts, and we'll move into one more thing because we're already past a half an hour. Then we'll jump off here.
Now, first of all, don't kick them out of card shows. We talked about that a couple of weeks ago. Just let everybody enjoy it. All right. As far as having, was it 2020 with the pandemic? When everybody used to be able to go in to a Meijer or a Target or any store and get a blaster box, that kind of went out the window when everybody's dads decided to get into fights over some Chronicles, because you could triple your money. Keep the kids involved. Very important. Can they coexist? Absolutely. They just got to find a way to make it work. Don't kick people out of shows. I'm going to do that again, but I just think that's ridiculous. There's a collector side in me. I know that I have a good collection. I have a lot of stuff, but I also sell a lot of stuff, and it kind of goes hand in hand. There are people that collect, there are people that sell, but the majority of it is getting back to when you were a kid, and I'll trade you this Joe Montana rookie card for this Ryan Sandberg that I have 6 of, because I want another one. But there's definitely a way to coexist. Everybody has a little bit different feeling when it comes to the hobby. Some people are in it purely to make money. I think you got to be a little bit of both. It can work, though.
Yeah.
What do you think, Kyle?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know why it can't. The hobby is huge.
Yes.
I mean, and the hobby is for everyone. I was at a card shop in where my parents live, and I was standing at the counter, and next to me there was a kid, looking for cards. And then next to me on the other side was a dude with a case with probably $30,000 worth of slabs in it. And I'm like, this is the hobby right here.
Mm-hmm.
We got kids who are looking to just find cards of their favorite player. We got me, a mix of whatever. And then you got this guy who obviously had invested a lot of money into sports cards and was now turning that for some sort of profit. And so I think that is the picture of the hobby. And that can be the hobby, that we can have kids in the hobby. We can have the guys who are, flipping, making money. And then we can have average Joes like me who work a middle income job and, collect cards of a player who was a bust in 2014. And I kind of thought about this analogy, and I don't know if this is going to work or not. If I played cards for fun, poker, I could go to the casino and I could play cards, right? There's also guys who play cards professionally and make money doing it. And sometimes they lose money. Sometimes they win money. You know what? When I go to the casino, I have the same odds as them of making money or not making money. It's just a much different scale of that. Some people play for fun. Some people play professionally. Some people collect cards for fun. Some people do it as an investment. Why can't we both sit down at the table with our chips and play cards? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. To me, I just think it's so big. It's so big.
It's not going anywhere. As long as there's sport, there's always going to be the hobby. It's just the way it is.
It's going to be cards.
Yes.
And I still think we have, the upper end and the lower end, and there's always going to be that, and that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Teacher Kyle just dropping knowledge like no one's business over here. Never in my life thought of it that way, but that's exactly what it is. And like you said, the hobby's for everyone. That there's a hand for everyone to play.
Yeah, well. Exactly. And every now and again, 7 deuce wins. So there you go, average Joes.
Yes, sir.
It's a bold move, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off. But you might be the most community. You and Eloy and Buck City and Midwest Box Breaks Ben just put together the communities, and in it for Che ENS Sports Cards always says he's in it for the people over the community over the cardboard. And tell us about just one more little thing, because I want to talk about the Christmas hobby video you did. I was telling Josh how you did last year. My daughter still says 11 retail grapes, and you did the black and yellow, and you did packs and packs and packs and racks and racks and racks. And Kyle here, he's a Christian rap artist as well as a teacher. Hey. So the community, he somehow finds a way to get everybody involved, like 500 people in, and put this project together. Can you mind talking about just a little bit, Kyle?
Yeah, man. I mean, it's just in my mind, I always want to find ways to bring the community together. And we all got different collecting tendencies. Some of us are investors, some of us are collectors, whatever you want to call it. Some of us are flippers, some of us are low end. Anyways, there's simple ways that you can come together. And the holidays, man, we all come together for the same reason. And so it's easy for me to just say, hey, I'm putting together a holiday video, Christmas video. All I need is a 5-second clip of you wishing the hobby a Merry Christmas. And it's really cool to see the response. And I get excited doing it. It is a little legwork sometimes, to get people to get
when you got to text people like me 11 different times. So I finally send it.
It's okay. It's okay. We all got lives. We're all busy. But yeah, man, it's fun for me to be able to bring people together for a common good. And, the most fun, I almost said funnest, geez Louise, I'm in my classroom too. The most fun thing for me is that you get to see people's faces and you get to see their lives. And you know, your little daughter pops up on there, man, and it just makes me smile every time. You know, this year I won't ruin it, but she got that little sucker in her mouth and she's wishing the happy Christmas. It's like, it's beautiful. And,
Yeah.
it's
great.
so fun. And I think it's great. And I hope people enjoy it as much as I enjoy putting it together. So usually gets good responses. People usually like seeing people's faces and seeing their own face. So.
Absolutely. We've got to get Josh involved in the next one to get a little LJ's action in there.
Let's do it.
Hey, send me a cell number, man. I'll send him nonstop text for 4 weeks telling him to send me videos.
That's awesome.
Let's do it.
All right, man. We are 40 minutes in, so I'm going to have 30-second maximum response on this. Then you're getting muted, all right?
Fair enough.
Is a hot dog a sandwich? Josh, go.
No.
On the clock.
Because the internet said so, and everything on the internet is true.
I
had to Google it.
I'm going to say no, because there's no break in the bread. I think there has to be break in the bread for it to be a sandwich.
What if you cut it in half and put it on a bun?
I think it's if there's a break in the bread, it's a sandwich. If it's still connected, it's a hot dog.
Have you ever been to a baseball game? Because I've never been to a baseball game where you don't get a stale bun that breaks, then you got a break in the bread.
All break.
Then you got a sandwich.
Oh, yeah. So when I'm at a Cubs game in Wrigley Field and I've got a 2-week-old hot dog that I'm eating over a trough in the bathroom because they don't even have stalls.
Nobody cares about the hot dogs at Wrigley.
They're just there for the old style and
you're just there for the old style.
Yeah, I try to get these questions like, is ketchup on steak, pineapple on pizza, and we've already had those. So the next one up was just, is a hot dog a sandwich? And I'm absolutely on team no, it's not. It's a hot dog.
Right, fair enough.
All right. Well, thank you very much, everybody, for watching. If you're watching live, awesome. If you're watching later on, or if you're listening like Kelly's Cars, he texts me, say, hey, man, I'm listening, but I can't watch right now. I'll watch it again tomorrow. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays, whatever you celebrate. I hope you have peace and joy this winter season. Josh, you got something to say, and then we'll hit to Kyle and get out.
Just Merry Christmas to everybody. Enjoy the weekend. Stay warm because it's going to be cold just about everywhere. So enjoy it. If you have time off, whatever, just Merry Christmas to everybody. Have a wonderful weekend.
Yeah,
Kyle, take us home.
You know, family and friends is important during this time. You know, unplug. You know, get your relax on. Take a break from whatever it is. If cards is your career, take a break from cards. If teaching's your career, take a break from teaching, and really just enjoy that time and you know, find the good in that.
For sure.
Yeah, I think Kyle's life mottos is be the good.
Be the
Everything
good,
in the hashtag be the good.
We need more people like you, Kyle.
Hey, I'm trying, man.
Yes.
You know, I'm a teacher, so I'm trying to raise them up, doing my best.
Yes.
All right, LJ,
I'll just keep making them.
be the good.